It was the video involving two nurses from Sydney's Bankstown hospital that made headlines right around the world. Now, the two sacked healthcare professionals have fronted court for the very first time, accused of violently threatening Israeli patients. There was chaos outside as the pair left, with a lawyer for one of the accused revealing his client, Ahmed Nadir, will plead not guilty. For more, let's bring in criminal defence lawyer Ruth Parker. Good morning. Ruth, tell us what the pair have been charged with.
So they've been charged with publicly threatening violence against a group of people and using a carriage service to menace or offend, which is essentially using, for example, social media, mobile phone, internet, in order to menace and offend a person or a group of people.
So we all saw that video, which we're showing clips of in the middle now. The defence wants that tossed out. What impact would that have?
Well, essentially there would be no case, Snap, because in circumstances where they're arguing that they did not know that they were being recorded, they did not know it was going to be broadcast, and they did not know nor consent to the fact that it was going to be made public, part of the offence itself is an intention. And if they cannot demonstrate that these people intended for this to be broadcast, it could be a fundamental failing in the prosecution case. It could also lead to the evidence being thrown out because it was illegally obtained, for example, which would mean that there would be no case at all.
Right, so he was recording it and not telling them. What are the chances that that video could be thrown out?
Well, look, there's obviously an evidentiary burden that they are going to have to satisfy the court of. And part of the difficulty is going to be getting the evidence from the person who broadcast and recorded the video. But in circumstances where there are laws, federal laws that say that you cannot illegally intercept video calls and telephone calls, if they can satisfy a magistrate that this was illegally obtained evidence, then they've got reasonable prospects of success.
What's an evidentiary burden? And does this sound like the ball could be in their court? They could win this?
Well, look, an evidentiary burden is where you are seeking to argue something before the court, except in certain circumstances. But in this case, they would have to satisfy the court that this evidence was illegally or improperly obtained. And I expect that what they're going to argue is that they believe that this was a private conversation between three people. They did not believe it was going to be recorded, and they did not believe it was going to be broadcast. And if they can satisfy the magistrate of that, then really the prosecution are going to have to argue why, on the balance, notwithstanding that it's illegally obtained, that it should be relied upon.
OK, even though it's out in the public domain and everyone's heard what they said. Interesting. Absolutely. We're going to keep in touch because it's a fascinating case, certainly not over. Thank you, Ruth. Here's Shervo.